Warning and disclaimer for all audiences. Anime Circuit is an audio podcast containing mature language, possible spoilers, and opinions that are not your own. Enjoy. Alright. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages and races and stuff. I am your host, Drake, and I bring to you with my co-host, Will and
Hello.
Miles.
Hey!
Anime Circuit, your weekly independent podcast. If we're even gonna roll with that term, because I keep saying it.
How are we independent? There's three of us. What?
This would fall apart if we did it on our own.
We are independent because we are our
We
own power.
we make no money.
Yeah.
Well, at least Will doesn't make any money.
Screw you, Miles.
Get a job, Will.
I like saying it.
I'm looking for one.
So anyways, yes, we are your weekly podcast. We are here to bring you reviews of both full stuff and weekly stuff to give you all the stuff. Alright.
Yeah! Go team! What?
Alright, so like last week, we promised you guys that we would be reviewing three movies.
Yeah!
We're here to say about
that.
We decided that's a bad idea because Jinro
The Wolf Brigade broke us.
Is too much to talk about. Like that deserves a podcast on its own.
And it will. It will have.
And it will. That will be next week's podcast, so we can have all the time in the world to talk about it. So we're basically reducing our movies to just Redline and Sword of the Stranger.
Which I'm very okay with.
Yes, I'm very okay with that too.
Yep.
I wanted to get one thing out of the way though before we start. In my opening notes for this podcast, Miles, fuck you and your sushi ninjas.
It was so great. Johnny Young Bosch just posted it on Facebook, and it was so
brilliantly
good.
Stupid.
Wait, what?
Okay, there's this currently airing show called Sushi Ninja.
It's like a 5-minute short, and I think it's one of the first shorts ever dubbed.
Yeah, it's this 5.
Even if it's 3D.
It's this 5-minute CGI short where it's basically just sushis fighting nachos.
I have never heard of that, but I want to watch it now.
And it's dubbed. Like every episode is dubbed, and it's like actual all-star cast just having fun
it's
fucking
like,
around.
It is the dream team doing this show. I don't even know how this is possible.
I'll look at that later.
I mean, it's like Johnny Young Boss, Todd Haberkorn, Matt Mercer. Like they're all like just in this dumb as fuck anime, just having a batshit crazy time.
Todd's even in there as like the salmon sushi. Oh my god, it was so great.
I love Todd Haberkorn.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
No, and like Johnny Young Bosch, he's like, this is the first time I've ever heard him try to sound nerdy, but he puts on like a nerdy voice.
I think he was talking about that at Youmacon, actually.
That might have been what he was referring to.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we went to Youmacon, me and Drake, so this is really why the podcast is really late.
Yeah, recording this a day late because we couldn't watch all the movies in time.
Hopefully, if we edit this in time, it won't be a day late.
Well, no. Well, actually, it'd be our normal time of going up on a Friday instead of the Thursday we planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid Fridays.
Whenever that actually happens.
Oh, yeah, and then also, within 2 weeks, we're probably going to change our schedule to give us...
Sundays.
To Sunday. Putting things on the weekend certainly gives us more time to do whatever we want.
Yeah, we have a lot more time in the week when there are fewer shows airing to actually watch our weekly show.
Whatever, we'll just readjust the schedule and it'll be perfect. It's not like we'll be missing anything.
Except for the first week we change, we'll be doing two episodes of every show except for Yona.
Yeah, that week of we change will.
Yeah, it'll be an extra long podcast.
I don't know if we'll need to make it extra long. I mean, usually like
probably.
I don't know. The way I see it is like, I don't know, but like when I've had conversations with people, when you try to talk about more than one topic, you usually kind of blend the two to sort of make it naturally fit the same pace you guys were going. Like, regardless.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, like, I guess we should start on Redline?
Yeah.
Sure.
Highway to the danger zone. Alright, you know, so, like, it's pretty nuts.
Redline's amazing.
Watching Redline, because my own personal story. So, basically, I refused to watch Redline. Like, unless I was going to, like, actually buy it. Like, I knew ahead of time when this movie was, like, even announced that it's, like, this movie was just going to be for me. I was gonna fucking love the shit out of it. And,
it saved anime.
Announced? Announced? What are you talking about? You know when this movie was first in development?
Like, 2001.
I mean, like, when I first saw the fucking goddamn trailer.
Okay,
like,
okay.
Like, okay, so, like,
This movie had 9 years of development time.
Each screen was handwritten,
hand drawn. But like the movie, halfway through the process was scrapped, so it was more like 4 years. Was scrapped and remade.
Yeah, it was.
I know that
because they switched over to 16:9 from 4:3.
So regardless, so yeah, I refused to watch this movie because I knew I was gonna love it. But then like when it kind of came for the podcast, I was like, damn, like. I don't have enough time to like get this movie shipped to me, so it's like I have to turn it and watch it right now. And I did, but I watched it like in the dead middle of night when I was really, really, really tired, like brain dead, just like.
That's the best way to watch Redline.
And then, but it was like, but I saw like the torrent for like Bullet Speed subs, who was like one of my favorite subgroups, and I was like, yo, like they're gone now, but like I can have some Bullet Speed subs nostalgia. And then, like, I downloaded the torrent, and then, like, I turned it on, and then there was, like, subtitles, and I was like, wait, this is a really bad idea. Fucking subtitles with this movie. I don't want to, like, restrict my, like, vision of the screen.
No,
yeah,
this,
you
this
don't want
movie
to
you have to watch
to,
dubbed.
like 2/3 of the screen, you know, just from, like, reading subtitles and, like, peripheral vision up top. So, like...
If you can understand Japanese, watch it in Japanese without subtitles. If you can't... Just watch the dub. It's perfectly fine.
It's
amazing.
The
dub is good. So I was already tired. So then I had to like turn it again with the Thor anime torrent this time, and I was still like, like, and then I finally pressed, then I finally pressed play, you know, and then like. The text is still scrolling across the screen where it's like, oh, like these outlaws, they race, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, yeah, I got it. Tired. I don't know if I can fucking watch this movie. I should probably save it for tomorrow morning. And then
the race starts.
And then, like, no, not even that. Like, instantly, like, you just see, like, a peanut shell fall on the ground. I'm like, yo, we got peanuts?
Drake was on drugs when he watched this movie.
It's like, just instantly, just the visuals of this movie just woke me the fuck up.
Like, Will, there is a point where you get so tired that you reach a high. Okay?
I know. I've reached that before.
I don't think that you've truly reached that before, because Drake's high is crazy.
So, it's like, it's just the entire time I was watching the movie, it was like my eyes were like glued to the screen. I had like this giant, like, gaping, wide open, like, mouth smile on my face, just like...
Drake, is that the night you dreamt that you were friends with a squirrel?
No, I dreamt I was friends with a squirrel the day after when I was at work.
What? How did you dream it? You fell asleep at work?
I fell asleep at work because I was on break. It was like a 15-minute break, and I slept for like 10 minutes of that 15, and then like as I slept, I dreamed I was talking to a squirrel.
How the fuck you wake up?
I don't know how the fuck I woke up, alright? It was just a work of fate, a hand of God being like, yo,
God came down and he's like, here, have your time with the squirrel. Now awaken and go back to your work. You're welcome for the most awkward dream of your life.
It's like in Sif, you applied to that in the Sif thread. I mentioned my dream of getting a UR.
Thanks, bro, I'll bump it.
Like when I had my dream of getting pulling a UR in Sif. God, that was an awful dream. Like I woke up, I'm like, yeah, I can't remember when I drew that. Oh wait, it was just a dream. That's really sad, isn't it? Yeah, I dreamt about Sif.
You know, speaking of sadness, there's one thing about this movie that like actually does not get enough credit, and that's this movie's fucking soundtrack. Everyone talks about the visuals. Everyone talks about the
Everyone
visuals.
talks about the soundtrack too.
And
I have Yellow Line on my phone.
I've never heard anyone talk about the soundtrack, but like when I fucking heard this soundtrack start, and like I was just like, yo, this is the most fucking like this shit is beast. This is so dope.
Drake.
Like, oh my god, it was just amazing to listen to, and sometimes I was actually paying more attention to the soundtrack than I was even what was going on screen.
Drake, the soundtrack for the first race is called Yellow Line. And it's on my phone.
I have it downloaded. I know.
Me too. Like, the biggest problem for me is having my phone like hooked up to my car when I'm driving, and listening to music, is hoping that doesn't come on, because I would just instantly like go 90 down the interstate. I'm like, no, Will, change the song quickly before you accelerate too much. Don't do anything stupid. Don't get a ticket. God, I love Redline. Like, I've seen that movie 3 times, I think. Well, once I watched it actually through the movie, full movie. And the second and third times I was like, I'm gonna watch the race scenes and skip the boring middle part.
Yeah, this movie had a very, really, really obvious 3-act structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was horribly
But
obvious.
it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, but it's like it was just between the start and the end, it was so
boring.
slow.
Yeah, at least you got to see some boobies.
I agree. Actually, it was probably actually more boring than even just slow, because it's like you didn't care about these characters, and none of these characters were really fleshed out or developed in any way that made
except
really
JP.
JP and like his.
I can't remember the other name.
It was his flashbacks with his little fucking girlfriend that like were the only thing that was like ever interesting to me.
And I like the oh god, I can't remember his name, but the guy who sold him out to the mob. Cannot remember the character's name.
I didn't care about him that much because
I liked it.
Yeah.
The plot with him.
I mean, I liked the subplot with him, but like I just thought it was extremely cliche. I was like, all right, you know, he's probably gonna like turn at the very end where he's like, no, I need to see JP win, and of course he did. Because
It's cliche, but it's still a feel-good moment.
Because friendship, you know, and like
Yeah.
and like even the way this movie ended with literally just the love banner, and I was like,
That was amazing.
Okay, it was pretty great, I guess, for like for Redline. I don't know, like it was slightly weird because I saw Redline as like being like really over the top and dumb, but I didn't really see it as like being.
Did you watch the final like 5 seconds of the race?
All you need to do is do a comparison to G Gundam, and then you'll be like, everything makes sense.
I mean, G Gundam? Which one's that?
Yes, G Gundam.
Talk about the currently
the
airing
most
piece of crap.
ridiculous Gundam ever made.
I've never seen any Gundam series besides the currently airing one, Gino
goodness.
Reconquista, which is
Alright,
bad.
no, G Gundam is fucking.
No, my plan is like next summer to watch all the Gundam series.
G Gundam's pretty dope. Like G Gundam is different from any other Gundam because it's just
just fun.
It's over the top shonen mecha fights. Like it's pre Gurren Lagann is what it is.
That is what it is. But it's more on the semi-realistic side, other than the fact that they fucking kick skyscrapers.
That sounds amazing.
Well, I mean, like the French mech like actually had like a fucking like mustache, I think. Like,
yes.
it was
No,
amazing.
not a mustache. It had a freaking cape. No, they were all ridiculous looking.
They were
Let's
all
just say
ridiculous
that.
looking in some way, shape, or form, but like they were beasts nonetheless.
Except for the main Gundam, because that was always the main Gundam's always got to look awesome.
Tying the Gurren Lagann reference back to Redline, I've heard many people call Redline the if Gurren Lagann was a racing series.
Yeah.
Would you guys agree with that? Because that's basically how the
Almost
ending was.
But not really.
They
sorta.
ran up a track at like supersonic speeds.
Well,
They ran down the track.
I don't even really know if this was like. I wouldn't really call it a Gurren Lagann movie. It just.
Yeah.
It felt more like. The thing is like I've seen this before. It just never looked so beautiful. Because I mean, like this was basically a Hot Wheels cartoon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is what it
yes.
was.
It is. It is
reminds
the
me.
dream of everyone who owned a Hot
Wheels.
Wheels racing track.
And whoever
It
watched
is-
like the Hot
it
Wheels
is
like
the
TV
dream.
shows when they were a
It is the
kid.
epitome of that wish, that childhood wish.
Yeah,
That's
like-
what it is.
Like it was basically like any Hot Wheels cartoon you watched as a kid, but like now.
Did you ever watch like that Excel Racers?
It just
awesome.
grew up with you. So now it's like oh yeah, like adults and boobies and people dying and stuff and like giant alien monsters.
Explosions!
Yeah,
and
giant alien
super
monsters
fast.
for no reason.
Yeah, right. Well, it was crazy because actually people did not start dying until the giant alien monsters showed up, and then I was like, all of a sudden, like, I was kind of a little upset because I really enjoyed how like no one really died. It was all just kind of like crazy fun explosions and like with no consequences because hey, that's Redline, and Redline's just meant to have fun. So when characters did start dying,
when you
I
pull
was
out the
like,
biological weapon of mass destruction,
Yeah.
ruining the mood a little
you
bit.
gotta expect at least like the side characters to die, a couple of them, right?
Yeah.
I was just expecting more explosions, just bigger and better than last time.
Well, there was, but okay.
They nuked it from orbit. How is that not awesome?
And that thing shoot giant laser beams out its fucking face, and it's like, yes.
I love Redline. The best scene in that was like the final scene after he flips the car back over, and they like gun it to the finish line. That was great.
That's spoiler territory.
Dude, we're reviewing it. We can spoil it.
I don't think there's really much about this movie to spoil in the first place.
Yeah.
Besides that,
Yeah.
people race and shit blows up.
Yo. Like, I just loved when like the car like was torn apart. It was like the drag racer bit.
Yeah, that was kind of cool, but then I think it was just more funny than anything because he pressed the button and it exploded, and it's like, yeah, we're going even faster. Like, what?
Yeah.
How does that even make sense? Your
It kinda
engine
makes
just
sense.
exploded. Your engine exploded, and you go faster. Shouldn't you stop?
It's more like they themselves were shot faster out
Yeah.
of the cockpit.
Whatever. How did? Oh yeah,
did make sense.
remember.
It's not
I
supposed
remember
to.
why they survived that crash. It was because magic bullshit that they pre-established,
It was
which is
because
okay.
Love Banner.
Love Banner.
Love Banner.
Love Banner. Oh yeah.
I loved
It's like when you're about to die, all you gotta do is just make out, have a little fucking Love Banner go across the screen, and bam, you're okay.
Woo.
like the best character in that movie was like the giant like robot dude. He was a massive ham, and it was awesome. Like
Yeah.
when he just like eats the super crystal thing.
He
like,
was
these-
pretty
these-
cool.
These
I won't
aliens
count him
were
as my
really,
favorite.
really creative and really well designed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I loved looking at all of them. And then like this was a Madhouse movie, right? So like
I think so.
And so, like, me thinking about it, I was like, you know, like, Madhouse actually does tend to, like, have some of the most just wackiest and most original, like,
Character designs. When they're actually serious about it.
when they're serious about it. And it's like, when I saw
I can
these
name a couple
designs,
series.
the first thing that instantly crossed my mind was Trigun Badlands Rumble, because just how much wackier and livelier, you know, and how unique that world was compared to the show, because the show was so poorly budgeted that you didn't really get to see what I'm assuming Madhouse really wanted to do with the series. So it's like when the Badland Rumbles movie came out, and like everyone looked different, everyone looked unique, like everyone just looked so weird, but that's what made it cool.
I totally didn't drop Trigun 6 episodes in.
That like that
Wow.
was
Wait, what?
Yep. I dropped Trigun 6 episodes in because I didn't like Vash.
I will come to your house and smack you.
I was watching
Oh,
the
yeah.
dub though, and
It's
Well,
not
well,
even
well,
in my
you-
favorites, but I will come to my house.
need to leave this
to
podcast.
your house and smack you upside the head.
Trigun was my favorite anime for literally about no, just about always, like until Aquarian Evil took place only a year ago. Like I spent basically my entire life.
I mean, at one point I'm gonna
loving
watch it
Trigun.
subbed, but like I dropped it because I couldn't stand.
Why
Johnny
are you
Young Bosch's-
watching it? What? 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 You are a disgrace.
He didn't let me
Okay,
finish. I didn't like his performance as Vash. I love Johnny Young Bosch, but That
No,
performance
no,
was
no,
not-
no. I know,
not
I know that's
good.
where you're going with it, but I can already tell you right now that like, all right, the person who voices Johnny Young Bosch in the Japanese is like the voice actor.
The person
of, like,
who voices Johnny Young Bosch in Japanese.
The
the person
person.
who voices Vash in Japanese is like is the same voice actor of like Liron from Gurren Lagann, right?
Oh god.
Like he's a comedian. He's very funny, and yes, he delivers the lines much better than Johnny Young Bosch. But when it comes to actually being deep and serious, he fails. It does not come across whatsoever because he's a comedian and he cannot deliver serious lines for shit. Like I'm sorry, but he doesn't. And Johnny Young Bosch does. Like when the series finally does.
But Johnny
like,
Young
like
Bosch didn't do the silly parts good. And
Yeah,
since
he
it was
can.
he doesn't do them as good, but like
Shouting out love and
he-
peace
he-
was
he's-
so
he's-
annoying.
He's all right at it.
Well, he only does that for like an episode.
He did it for the first 6 episodes, like every episode at least 3 times.
Really? I
No,
don't
no, no,
really
no.
remember.
Not like love and peace, but no, he acts like a doofus a lot at the start.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, I waited. I'm like, I'll wait till Wolfwood, or whatever his name was, the guy who carries around the giant like cross bazooka cannon thing.
Oh, he doesn't come into like halfway through the show.
9.
Yeah.
He's
But
a
I
while.
got 6 episodes in, and I'm like, I can't stand it anymore. I'm trying to wait until Wolfwood, who's apparently awesome, comes in, but it's like, I can't do this.
It's not about Wolfwood being
No.
awesome. I'm not even.
No.
You know, I can't.
It's
have
not
this
even about Wolfwood
I
at
can't
all.
have this conversation. Like,
Fu-
just
Ugh.
Maybe
Trigon.
someone
we
have,
will
Trigon.
schedule Trigon. We will
Yeah.
schedule Trigon, and then freaking make him watch it and change his freaking mind and make him
alright.
shut the fuck up because he is wrong.
Wow.
He is so wrong.
just
I feel offended.
We are offended.
we're offended. It's like I don't know how like
You didn't
like,
even finish the series. How can you even say that?
like first of all like I don't even know how you could like ignore the hints that there was something darker like going on, even amidst
Well,
all
I
the
knew,
fun.
I saw the hints, but I'm like,
But like they weren't enough to make you be patient and like wait for it to deliver, because it delivers.
You know what, Drake? You know what, Drake? That's the problem with his generation now. His generation of anime viewers are much more used to immediate satisfaction. They're getting 12 and 24 episoders.
That's what I keep saying about
That's
Arcane
it.
Ballon, but you refuse to watch it.
Archvon is great.
I'm waiting for it to finish so I can go through it all at once.
Don't. It's great. It feels great week to week.
It does.
Alright.
It
Let me
didn't
defend
to me.
myself
I
and-
just
and
feel
stopping
like
to watch
I need
Trigon.
to see more.
Let me defend myself and stopping watching Trigon.
Whatever.
Like, I remember this like less than a year into watching anime for me, and I was much less patient back then. Like, for now, I could definitely get to the end of it, but I probably wouldn't be happy. From what I know of the series, but like, I just haven't gone back and
just
watched
go
it.
in without any expectations. That's what you should do for just about any series. And just see what it gives you. And you should be pleasantly surprised with Trigon.
I got
That's
actually
all I
one of the
gotta say
Trigon
about
manga. I think it's like Trigon Maximum or something.
Yeah, I
You-
own all of the Trigon manga too. I had Johnny and Bosch sign
Yes!
volume of Trigon manga.
At my convention. At my local convention.
sign my picture of Araki 7. Oh, yes.
I got Johnny Young Bosch to record him saying, "I, Lelouch Britannia, command you to die."
He also did that when we were waiting in line.
I recorded it on my phone. Like, I went up to him like, after the convention. My first ever convention, I asked him to do it, and he did it for me.
Oh, there was a great moment where during the convention someone asked him what superpower he'd wanted, and he was like, I want Lelouch's Gios, but like the way he said it though, is the command he gave was really funny. Where he's like, I, Lelouch Britannia, command you to make me a sandwich.
Yes, it was perfect.
It was
Just
pretty
hearing
funny.
that in his voice. Oh, yes.
Like it
was quite orgasmic.
It got the room in an uproar. It was pretty funny.
Reminds me of at my con last year, we had Chris Sabat, and like people kept pestering him to do the over 9,000 thing.
Oh yeah.
Which it wasn't even him. He didn't even do the line. Like the original over 9,000, it wasn't him. It was the Ocean dub. I don't know who did Vegeta during the Ocean dub, but like he did it. And, like everything exploded in the crowd. It was great.
Yep. Okay,
Also,
Alright,
he
so-
did it. Wait. One more funny con story.
I think we should move on, Will.
Wait, one more story. It's like 5 seconds. Shut up.
Will!
The first night we had like a dub your own anime thing where like Chris Sabat had us dub like an episode of Dragon Ball Z Kai. Like we had people like going and doing different voices for like the first scene. But what was great was he opened up like his sound program called Sensual Saxophone. And he hit the play button. It was just like normal saxophone music. But he turned up a big knob in the middle that said
was it
sex
sexy
on
sex? Was it sexy sex man music?
No, the app was called Sensual Saxophone. There's a big knob in the middle that said sex on it. And the more you turned up the sex knob, the more it just got to like sexy jazz music. And it was amazing. If you turned the sex knob all the way up, it would like correct the display, the UI. It was great.
This is like the sexiest instrument around, right? Should.
Yeah, because it's Chaos Whisper. Alright, but now we can go to Show to the Stranger.
All right, yeah. So okay, like that was a review of Redline. Everybody, it was dope.
10 out of 10.
Go watch it. Go watch it. Dub,
10 out of 10, watch
sub,
every 5
whatever
minutes
you
of
want.
your life.
Go watch it.
So, who wants to start with Sword of the Stranger?
All right, Sword of the Stranger.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put transition here.
This movie.
Don't leave it. It's pretty
It
good.
was okay. I thought it was.
I wouldn't call it fantastic. It was pretty. It has some of the most fluid animation, and some of the best choreography for
The
fighting.
choreography was amazing.
And that's
It was
just because
slow.
it's a Bones film.
Yeah, it was Bones. Bones films are usually great.
Yeah, Bones, whenever it comes to fighting and animation, it's always going to look solid. But it's not like anything other than the choreography stood out. The story was pretty subpar. There really wasn't much of one.
Yeah, it wasn't
Everyone
that
cries
much,
when they see the dog get hurt.
I didn't.
Everyone cries when they see the dog get hurt.
I didn't cry when the dog.
I-
Everyone cries! Okay.
I'm not everyone.
Me either.
Yeah.
I haven't met
Well,
everyone.
Too bad. You are.
I'd like to
so
meet this
cry.
person.
Cry right now.
No, I refuse to. I refuse to cry.
But one thing that I will say is pretty interesting is that, well, I don't know if it's lazy or interesting, but they went ahead and just didn't give the main character a name. They just called him
Yeah.
Nanashi, which means
No
nameless.
name.
No name.
So
He's
it's
no name in
like,
the dub.
oh,
Yeah.
this is
I
dark
actually
and
watched
brooding.
this movie
But
in
then
both languages.
I
You
just
did?
kind of think they all sat down in a room and they said, okay, we're at the end of the fucking movie. What should
What's
we
his
call our
name?
main character? And they're just like, I don't
No
fucking
name.
know, man. I don't fucking know. And then they had like, oh,
They don't have no name
a
for
week
him.
for him to do. They had like a month for him to do his voices, and for him to say his name. And he's just like, you know what? Screw it. You're Nanashi. You're no name. Whatever. Good enough.
Yeah, like not a. Okay, like that's the weird thing that always gets me about like the Japanese language, right? Is like, whenever we like translate. You see, I don't think it's a problem with the Japanese language. I think it's a problem in like translations where
Yeah.
it's like sometimes you like carry over a name despite the fact that the name means nothing, right? So it's like, all right, so like his name is Nanashi, which I guess in Japanese is pretty similar to no name. So we're gonna call him no name in the dub. Like that works for me, right?
Names
But
would have
it's
been
like-
better.
But sometimes like you see an anime, and I can't really think of one on top of my head, but it's like it'll have those cases where it's like a literal translation and it'll still call him Nanashi anyways, and it's like, but it doesn't really make sense
Makes
in that
sense.
context.
Yeah. It sounds like an actual name. If you don't know the
It's
language.
like in
Unless they explain it in the dub, then it doesn't make sense.
Like
but a lot of the time they'll say, Nanashi means no name.
Like
I'm not going to tell you.
Here's what gets me, right? Is like, I'm waiting for Parasite to get dubbed because you know it's gonna happen. But it's like when it happens, it's like, is Migi gonna still be called Migi? Or is he just gonna be called Right? Because he's like the right hand. You know. It's like,
I think they're just going to
Migi
go
'cause it's a
and
name.
be like Migi because it means right hand, or it means hand.
Because they said that in the show, like, because
Yeah.
it means right hand. So.
yeah, I know.
So I think because they did that,
It's
they'll
just,
go
but
ahead
it's
and
still
just
gonna be
do
so
that.
literal that I know in Japan he's still being called right hand, but it's
Yeah.
like to us he's being called Migi.
I find that weird.
It's those disconnections I have sometimes when
It's
things
like
get translated.
Character's named Sakura. You named your kid Cherry Blossom. I don't. It feels weird when I hear
Well,
it.
that's
Well,
like,
that's just because they're a sad ass character.
Naming a kid Yuki?
That's like Japan's problem, all right?
It's
Like,
like-
I don't care.
Naming a character
the way-
Yuki.
the way Japan
you literally
names
named your
their
kid
stuff.
Snow. I just don't get that when I watch anime. Like,
You know what? We're not going to talk about Snow because everyone here has played too much Final Fantasy 13, and we're not
haven't.
going to
No,
call
you know
anyone
what
Snow ever
really
again.
gets me is like Kirei from Fate. His name is beautiful. Like it's literally just beautiful. Like it's just like
But he is beautiful.
just beautiful Kotomi.
talk about having
And
an
I'm,
ego when you
and
name your
I'm-
kid.
But he
I'm
is
like,
beautiful.
excuse me? I don't
Just
even
name
know what
your kid
Kotomine
beautiful.
means, but it's like, yeah, it's just like, just like, yeah, just like, hi, I'm beautiful, and I'm like, yes, you are.
Drake. No, you swung that way.
But nonetheless, yeah, I mean, but that's just Japanese problems, all right.
But-
Something
but-
like
by the
no
way-
name, I think, is kind of excluded from that.
By the way, to any of our viewers out there, we have no professional experience with the Japanese language.
Yeah.
So don't take anything that we say about it to heart.
Yeah.
And don't use it to prove any points because you're probably gonna be proven wrong at some point in time. There you go.
Not by us, but probably by someone else, because that's how the
That's how life works.
There's something I didn't get from this movie. Why were the Chinese people so strong? Like, sans miracle drugs. Like,
Well,
even though they
I'm
weren't getting
glad-
hit, they were
I'm glad-
overpowered.
I'm
They
glad
had
it wasn't-
advanced medicine.
No, I said sans mega drugs. Whatever.
I'm just glad that for the final
Because
fight,
because
it
choreography.
wasn't Nanashi that literally like killed everyone, right? You know, some of the one-off guys, you know, Soldier A's like got some kills too because.
No, in the final fight, now she killed like 4 Chinese guys. Yeah, like once.
Yeah, well, like Soldier A's, B, C, D, 3, blah 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 blah. You know, they killed like 2.
Yeah.
So I mean, they got their moments of glory to look like actual soldiers.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, why was there like a weird subplot throughout the movie, of like Itadori and Ryota or whatever his name was, like usurping their lord?
Yeah,
felt tacked on.
That was kind of.
Like,
It wasn't really
why?
tacked on. It was more to serve
Why?
the purpose of explaining why the fuck they want to capture the kid.
Yeah, no, like I understood it.
It
Like,
was just
it
to
was-
get a different point of view.
It was. I don't think it was. I think it was just there to have a narrative at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
It's just like, hey, look, these are characters who we can say, hey, they're actually trying to do something with their lives, rather than just walking around and
Yeah, because
Killing people.
otherwise this movie does not have a plot.
yeah.
It
No
does not.
plot at all.
Is the Chinese want to become immortal, so they kidnap kid for like a sacrifice. They're like
Because they believe he can be
That's it.
sacrificed to achieve immortality.
it's like Redline. The plot of Redline is literally
they
they
race.
race. And here it is. Some samurai want to be immortal. Fight. Like I'm like okay.
No, they don't even want to be immortal at the end.
They want their
It's
emperor to
just
be
like-
immortal.
They want their lord to be immortal.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, at the end, the one Russian samurai dude. I will call him Russian, don't even freaking...
Hey, the movie was
Because
offensive to
Father.
me. The movie was offensive to me. As a white guy who's over 6 feet tall and has blue eyes, I feel offended that I was called a demon.
Why?
They said, like, remember when he fought the
Okay,
story
okay,
guy.
how about this?
And his wife
if
said
I
he
was
was-
Jewish, you would be called a demon.
why?
Because German.
Oh. I'm not blonde, though.
You just said you were.
Oh, I said
He didn't say
blue
he was
eyes.
German. He just said he had blue eyes and blonde hair. That could be
I said
anything.
6 foot and blue eyes. I did not
You
say
said
blonde
blonde hair.
No, I didn't.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Hitler.
I am not Hitler.
He's Wilfler.
Never again say that word.
Whitler.
I need to rewatch this movie sometime, though, because my file was awful. Like, every time a fight scene started, the footage got corrupted. Like,
That's a shame.
it's like, got
You know what?
It is.
green.
I don't really care though, because I didn't feel like these movies' fight scenes were ever really long enough to be appreciated anyways.
you know
except
what?
For the very final one.
You know what? If you really want to see all the fight scenes, just YouTube them.
Yeah,
Because
that's what
people
I'm doing.
upload them. People upload them every other freaking day.
Like, one thing that I really liked about the final fight was the actual way katanas work. Like, his sword broke in the fight.
Yeah.
Because katanas aren't made to go, like, sword end on end. Like, blade. So, like, it got destroyed in the fight. I'm like, thank you for paying attention to detail of how swords actually work.
Well, it's Bones. What do you expect?
Yeah.
When Bones make movie is good.
Another thing
Yeah,
I liked.
they found a pretty unique blend between realistic and over the top still.
Another thing I
Yeah,
noticed
definitely.
watching it was, like, in the final fight, the fluid choreography was great. Like, there's a scene where if you're not paying attention, they swap swords in the fight.
Yeah, it was
I
amazing.
noticed, yeah.
Like, if you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't notice it.
They swap swords. Yes.
If you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't see that. It was awesome. You wouldn't notice until, like, until No Name stabbed the sword into him at the very end, and you noticed it wasn't, like, a katana hilt.
I noticed it on my first viewing.
Oh, I noticed it too, but, like, if you didn't see them swap swords in, like, the like, 1 second long scene, you wouldn't notice until he, like, stabbed him in and the fight stopped. It was great.
Yep. Okay, so
You know, I want to say though, it's like I feel extremely blessed that I have like this like supernatural power to be able to just like switch audio tracks on a whim, because it's like most people can't do that. But it's like I watched this movie with Miles in Japanese for about the first half of it, and then like when I got home and I watched it today before this podcast, it was like I just watched the rest of it in English, and I didn't care. Like it was
The dub was
I was
great,
perfect.
yeah, the
I was-
both dubs are fine.
except for
Dub and
Kotaro.
sub.
He's a little annoying and whiny.
Whatever. You don't really hear them that much. So.
But I've
Yeah.
done that with series before. I've switched audio tracks with Deadman Wonderland. I switched audio tracks with Code Geass. I've done it with shows
How
before.
dare you
and-
switch
and-
audio
and-
tracks
and
with
every-
Code Geass.
and everyone's always just like oh my god, Drake, like how do you have like this ability just to like listen to whatever the fuck you want when you want? And I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't bother me.
There's
As
only been
long
one
as the
show-
dub is good, which as we most recently found out, Log Horizons is not.
Oh god, Nyanta. Oh god, what happened to Nyanta? What they do to him?
It's like what happened to like everyone. All right, you know, it's like
Dude, no, we're not talking about this yet. We're not there yet.
I would just because we're not.
We are not.
We're not
We are
talking.
not.
Just because we're not talking about Log Horizon doesn't mean we can't talk about Log Horizon stuff. That was a previous
God.
season, newly released by Sentai, right?
Oh god, that was so
dubs,
bad.
the dubs like. Do I see the thing is I usually hate Sentai because they're bad, but this was like so bad.
It was good.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, so like Shirei sounds like this like 1,000-year-old like really like wise sage where he's just.
I haven't heard Shiro's voice.
He's,
I only heard
he's just like
from that one you
"Akatsuki,
linked of
could you
Nyanta and
please, like,
Sarara."
do a silent step for me, please. And it was just like, and like Natsugu sounds like some like
I-
fucking like retarded pro
when
wrestler.
I first heard that, I
It-
swear to God, I thought it was just some random ass fan dub.
No, so did I. But like then I heard Hillary Haig, and I'm like, no, wait, but like she's actually like a professional voice
What
actor.
is happening?
So like, who's this black guy? And not like black as in like gangsta black, like this black guy as in like who's like
Just
really like
black.
suave 80s jazz black, where he's just like, don't worry about it, sugar. It's like,
Yeah,
you know what
it's
I'm
like-
talking about, baby? Like,
Oh my God, it was so freaking weird.
I'm like, what is happening? It's like Drake just linked me that one scene. I haven't listened to any else of it. But I'm like, what even is this? What are you making me watch?
It was so freaking... What even? Okay, we gotta move on.
Alright.
Time for me to go to sleep, because next up
WIXOSS.
is WIXOSS.
We can talk about actually probably like the best episode of WIXOSS.
Yep.
Fucking WIXOSS, god damn it again. We can talk about the basically like the best episode of WIXOSS.
Yep.
One that had a slight Deus Ex Machina to it though, not even slight, actually.
Wait, really?
Completely 100%.
Oh yeah.
Like this
level 5.
This level 5 was... Alright, first of all, I didn't even know there was ever
Yeah,
levels at
yeah.
any point.
Once
But,
again, I don't know how this game is played.
But all of a
Why
sudden,
do they keep showing us?
now we've said that there's 4 levels, and then within that same episode that we established there's 4
Yeah.
levels, we also say that
Find
there's
a
a
fifth.
level 5 that has never been reached before. And I'm like,
What's stopping them?
sure, why not?
What is stopping them from reaching level 5 in a normal game? Just saying grow one more time.
Ruko's the main character, that's why.
Yeah.
So
Wait.
anyway,
What?
So,
Other than saying the word grow 5 times instead of 4? What stops them?
like I wonder if they can just keep saying grow and grow and grow as many times as they want.
Level
The only reason why
20.
They haven't. The only reason why they haven't is just because they're like following a rule book. But it's
Like,
there
oh,
are no rules
9,000.
at WIXOSS.
I think like level 9,000 is just like they're bigger, like they're the monster Tama from like the dreams in season 1. You know what I'm talking about?
Say what?
Remember like beginning of season 1, there's like the dreams like the monster looking Tama thing, the giant like one that got impaled by a tower.
What show?
WIXOSS.
WIXOSS.
The giant.
Oh yeah,
freaky
it's
Tama
from
monster?
episode 1.
Yeah, like imagine like level 9,000 is like that thing.
Dude, that'd be beast.
That'd be amazing.
Still waiting for that to come back though.
Yeah, me too. That's like okay, so when's this gonna be a thing?
So like dark disturbing imagery for the sake of dark disturbing imagery because we're edgy.
And it's never been brought up again. What was that with the tower destroying like the entire city or something? What?
I don't know. They
think
haven't
like
gone back. They haven't gone back to that tower at all yet either.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like WIXOSS, WIXOSS. It just like makes points and then it drops them.
Yeah,
It's just like
instantly.
It's just like here's a thing going on over there. Let's do it for a couple episodes and then just go right off to something else.
Yeah. But at least
And so-
Ruko finally battled to the end. And didn't wuss out halfway through it again.
I suppose, even though I don't really know where the fun came back in the game for her all of a sudden, but it did.
I mean, maybe it was just destroying someone brutally in a fight. It's being a sadist.
The thing is like, Ruko was having fun fighting, was kind of encouraged to fight this episode. But for some reason, Yona still didn't look all that happy about it.
Yeah,
And
it's like, okay.
I'm like, I thought this is what you wanted.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's like, just, we let WIXOSS do what it want and make drama because it's WIXOSS and just Akota, you kind of have to accept it.
Yeah, Mario Koda.
The backstory of this episode was pretty good, though.
Yeah. I was actually surprised that Fumio was originally I'm not even going to try and say that word.
Actually,
L-R-I-G.
Fumio's wish was actually kind of vague because it's like she just sort of wanted just to live a better life.
It was to be a published author.
It didn't really make much sense. Like,
No, Drake,
I
it
know.
was published author. That was the dream, wish thing.
Was it? Because I thought she just wanted to get out of her home of her parents.
No, her. Otherwise, what was the point in her saying she wanted to accomplish her wish by her own means?
Well, by her becoming a published author, she can probably be successful and go off and do whatever she
Maybe.
wants. Like I think her wish, whatever it was, would lead to multiple positive results for her. All right, and I so far think it's probably the best wishes anyone has made since it's the one that's the only one where I can see it having an overall positive effect on that person.
Imagine what would happen if she failed.
Just her life goes to shit.
Yeah. That'd be awful.
And so it's this also kind of explains why there's no volume 2 of the actual WIXOSS novel series, because it's funny because it's just Futase doesn't know how to fucking write. It's as simple as that. Fumio's gone. She published volume 1 and And now, like, Fudose is, like, there in front of the book, you know, just always
Typing
and then
Mayu or White Garden or whatever.
Yeah, and then it's just like, oh, it's just because, like, it's not her.
Yeah.
And Fudose says she wants to accomplish Fumio's dream, but it's like, I think it's like she just doesn't know how to fucking be an author, so she just doesn't get, like, shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's like this weird, like, irony and hilariousness to it that just kind of makes me crack me up when I think too hard about it.
One thing I have in my notes, but I don't remember how it was shown, was that the rigs aren't given out by random. It said somewhere in the episode, but I can't remember. It's been a few days.
I think we've already made this assumption that the L rigs aren't given out by random many episodes ago.
I mean, we've seen that that Mayu considers like certain people, but never explicitly stated she chooses exactly which people get them. It's like
I don't even specifically remember her stating out loud that she chooses which people get them this episode, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, they say it like you don't get a rig unless you have a wish. That's something it said.
Oh yeah, but I feel like
because Mayu was like counting wishes or something.
I feel like that's kind of like a trope that like any wish granting thing tends to do, where it's like, oh man, you need to have the wish, otherwise why would you be like in the wish tournament?
Yeah.
You know? I can name multiple series beyond just WIXOSS that do that.
Yeah.
And then we got new plot point that again came out of nowhere as
the
usual
black girl.
per is WIXOSS. It's the
black
girl
girl
of black and the girl of white, and I'm just like,
no, Drake, call her the black girl.
What does this mean? What could it possibly mean? I'm sure you'll tell me WIXOSS in the next coming episodes. Now that you've
No, it'll drop in a few
nowhere.
episodes. It'll drop in a few
It's
episodes.
like you'll tell me and then just like drop it again. But it's
like-
like, but we need a new plot point to fill in the season until things happen.
It's like Yona's apparently the like anti-Mayu. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, which doesn't really make sense. I thought she was just some idle girl who had too much fun playing card games, but apparently no. She's
Yeah.
actually she herself is some kind of supernatural, powerful force.
Card god lady.
She is card.
She's card god lady.
She's card devil lady.
Card devil lady. Card Lucifer lady. CLL.
So now I guess there's a thing between Mayu and Iona that has to go get explained.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen someday.
Maybe. Who knows? It is WIXOSS.
Alright.
You never know what will happen.
It is WIXOSS, but like the only reason why this was really like the best episode of WIXOSS at all is because it finally had it had a character that I liked, and a character that doesn't even exist in the show anymore. But I liked her for the one episode she was in.
Yeah. She was... I liked seeing that character. So you ready to move on to Log Horizon?
Log Horizon.
Log Horizon.
All right,
Welcome
so
back.
we finally caught up to our flash forwards.
Yep.
One of the two, the later of the two of the flash forwards, the first episodes we've finally seen, where it's
Maybe.
like, all right,
Maybe. We don't know for sure.
No, Akatsuki on the
No,
ground dead. That's kind of it.
Akatsuki and Shiro are dead. Like, it's pretty fucking obvious. Not to mention the preview for the next episode had them in like the dead world place.
Mhm.
It had them in like temporary Elder Tale heaven. So yeah.
I like the fact that this episode shows that the Royal Guard are just NPCs, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, like we this has been a long overdue explanation as to what the Royal Guard is, and we finally got it.
Yes, I liked it. It's just armor.
And, well, the explanation for why they're more powerful than
Is-
adventurers.
It's match for the city.
That's the biggest explanation overall.
Yeah. As long as they're in the city, they're like infinitely powerful. Can't be beaten.
And because the Royal Guard armor is, you know, an existing armor that lets you fight without rules, because they are supposed to be the rule enforcers, you know, allows Nelrith to fight.
Murder everyone.
Yeah, it allows him to fight
teleport.
because he's wearing the Royal Guard armor.
And I can teleport.
Yeah, you
Actually,
can't
one thing
teleport.
I noticed.
We don't know that yet.
They said he can
haven't seen
teleport.
him teleport.
They said he
Yeah,
can
they
teleport.
said he can teleport, but We don't know if he knows how to do it.
Oh.
We haven't seen him.
I mean, I'd assume so, because that's how no one's managed to see him in the city.
Yeah, I would assume he does. Like, if he can just, like, get wherever he wants, like, whenever he needs to be there.
Akatsuki said that he was using the sewers, though.
Oh, yeah, wasn't he? Yeah.
So that leads me to conclude that maybe he doesn't know how to use the teleport ability or something.
Maybe something they can use to their advantage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, though, it's like, I was... Like, okay, like, I was said, like, I would be okay if the teachings didn't exist, right? So this episode confirms that they do.
And Soji had one.
But it also confirmed that they're a little more cliche than what I was hoping. Like, if it was literally just a super ultra mega full power, I would have, strangely enough, been more okay within it kind of just being, like, this really shonen cliche where it's just, like, fighting for my friends is my teaching. Like,
I don't think that's
like,
what it
Sojiro
was.
dies.
Or, I think the animal spirit was his teachings. Like, not the fact he wanted to fight for his friends.
No. I think it's more that it's one of those things where you have to keep practicing and you just max level your thing and you get teachings. And then I think it's more skill based to use them, probably. That's probably it.
If it's more skill based, like, Sojiro still explains it as in, like, fighting for my friends is what drove me to want to learn the teachings in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so he's
so
he dies with, like, he's like, oh, concept's so easy to understand, but, like, still somehow no one's done it. Blah blah blah.
It's still extremely hard to understand, even though it's simple. Basically, you gotta keep practicing at it, I think, is what he's saying. But who fucking knows? Until we actually get a full explanation of it.
And he went insane. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was insane.
Oh, I love that.
And his fight scene was actually surprisingly pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I put my notes that the flashbacks reminded me that we need more of Lanestia in the Valkyrie armor. That's something we really need.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
If we got a Sansa outfit, we need Valkyrie armor.
You know, it's funny though, because it's like it wasn't until this episode that it really started hitting me, like, just how, like, because this episode had flashbacks to the first season, and like
how different
really,
the animation
like,
is.
Yeah, you know, it finally hit me, like, just how different and not as good everyone looks.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I know season 1 didn't really, like, look that good either in terms of, like, animation, but the art was still prettier than what Dean is doing here, where everyone looks. Yeah, it's just everyone
it looks half-assed.
Yes.
Everyone does look half-assed. Like, everyone's eyes are small, their faces are round,
And their boobs are massive.
There's a lot of still frames with choppy-looking frames put in between. It just.
Their faces are round, and somehow their hair is blocky. Like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God, Dean, just stop ruining everything.
Just quit. Just quit. Just don't work anymore. Literally. Is Dean just like the beginner company, like the company where everyone goes to get their start,
Yes.
and then once
Yeah,
they
probably.
actually learn how to draw,
They get fired.
go and move to a different company?
It's like, you have skill, you're fired.
I don't get it.
I have in my notes that Akatsuki's death was ruined by the ED. Again. Like,
Everything's ruined by the ED.
Yes.
I think that's a common trope even in Log Horizon
Dude.
season 1.
It's so bad.
every suspenseful moment, it's like, oh god, Akatsuki's bleeding out on the ground, and she
The
just
thing is,
died.
the
And
thing
like
is,
the
I don't
cutesy
mind
opening,
the
the cutesy ending
too
song.
much. I don't mind the song too much. I actually like it better than season 1's ending. It's just the problem is
The placement.
it always plays. It's just its placement, the way it transitions into the ending credits.
Awful.
It's not even the fact that it is the ending credits song. It's the fact that it transitions into the ending credits, and therefore, whenever something dramatic happens, leaves you on a cliffhanger of, holy shit, what the fuck's gonna happen next?
And what
It's
a
like
wonderful,
just-
wonderful world.
It's just like do 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 do. Like it's just.
No,
God.
please, just stop.
Ah, God, Log Horizon. You could be so much more. You could be
Can-
so much
can we-
more.
Can we just make this like? Can we just cut out the ending part for one episode? Just one episode that isn't the final episode?
Yeah.
We just do like what World Trigger does and like not have an ending sequence at all.
And they're explaining it. They're already explained in the episode.
And put more budget into it, hopefully.
Oh yeah. No, can we just like do what World Trigger does and re-explain what was explained earlier in the show? Seriously, that's what World Trigger did this week. Like, explain the rankings, and then explain it again at the end.
Explain like the rankings all over again.
It's like, is there a need for this? If you're gonna do it at the end, why do it in the show?
You know, the thing is, the manga like did that too. But once again, when I was like reading like the actual pages, I was like, all right, so like this show's spending like fucking 3 minutes explaining like this fucking shit, and it's like.
Then it explains it again at the end.
And I'm like, this is a panel, like literally just a panel. Like it's just
filler panel. That's all it is.
It was like filler panel, just recapping like what you know now that we have like 2 border agents, you know, next to each other, so that we can actually finally start seeing how like the system works.
The contrast and everything between characters, powers, and everything.
But that's getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Log Horizon, basically, it's just this episode was a fight scene. That's all this episode was.
Yes, that's all it was, and I am fine
pretty.
with it. Also,
fine with that.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
That
Merry
line,
Christmas.
I will say, it was perfect. It
Wait,
was
which
perfect
one?
where it was placed.
Oh,
But,
when
like,
Nelrath kills Akatsuki, he's like, Merry
like-
Christmas.
So, like,
In
holy
rape
shit,
voice.
Santa
Santa Claus!
Well, like, let's
coming
think
to
about this.
Why?
When's the last time World Trigger had a fight scene? It was
What?
what? I mean,
You mean Log Horizon?
When's the last Log Horizon? What's the last time Log Horizon had a fight scene?
2 episodes ago?
Yeah. Earlier in that episode when they were fighting the boss.
Oh yeah, the bosses. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Drake.
Because I was gonna say, it's like the last one I remember. Was
I know
like
what you
Krusty,
mean, but really, like...
was Krusty fighting the goblins, and then before that,
It's every other episode, dude.
At this point, yeah, because they're in a raid.
now they're not in the raid anymore.
Kinda, yeah.
Well, they still
The
are
team
over
is.
there.
Yeah, I know they're still all there.
Even
They
if she
gotta
was
they gotta
dead.
solve that money problem.
I mean, it's already
I
been
noticed
established
something.
that those who die are like respawning for the raid, but nonetheless, it's just funny to finally see Shiroi die for like the first time. You're like, suck it.
It was like so random, like, and half-second cut. Oh yeah, she was dead. Wait, what?
I didn't really think it was particularly random. Like I thought it was kind of, it felt kind of necessary because, like you already saw Shiroi kind of struggling up to this point. where
No,
it's
I was
like,
okay with him dying,
he
but like the
knew
placement
as-
in the episode was random. Like a random cut, he
okay.
flew into Natsuko. He's like, is he dead? Is that what that was?
All
He
right,
like, flew into Natsuko and dead.
Yeah,
What?
writing wise it was fine. Directorial wise,
Oh god, it was awful. I
I still don't think it was still awful because it wanted to build that drama and have like everyone die at the same time to as if make it seem something is like way more bigger is going on than what it really is.
Yeah, but
Because it's
still.
like it's 2 separate conflicts, but if we play them right next to each other, then like holy shit, we can make it feel like just this epic battle of just doom.
Yeah, it didn't work well though.
demise.
It didn't work well. It made no sense. Like
And
just randomly.
I was okay with it. I mean I wasn't impressed by it. But
I'm fine
I
with
wasn't
Shiro,
really
like,
bothered by it, but either.
I'm fine with Shiro dying, but like the way it was directed was awful. It's just like Akatsuki gets cut.
It's just like boom and bam,
Back to Akatsuki.
dead.
You even see Shiro get hit. He's just like thrown into an Natsuko, and it's like, oh yeah, he's dead. Like, wait, what? That was him dying?
Yeah, it was.
Well,
kinda,
I always thought that. I always
I
thought.
felt like it was rushed just to make sure we got the cliffhanger in.
Well, I always thought like this season has been kind of been more poorly directed, despite being of the same director. But like this is what I've always said, right? It's like maybe like your studio can affect your writing, but the limitations on the studio can always affect your direction. And so like I noticed that like things weren't going to go as smoothly this season, behind the scenes, just from like the flash forwards at all that the first episode of season 2 had, and I'm just like, all of a sudden like Log Horizon's perfect pacing has just been thrown off, and I'm like,
Oh god, what?
Yeah.
Was just Link.
oh, I've seen this.
I haven't.
It's not that impressive, actually. Like, she has way bigger hips than I was, like, imagined. No, like, when you
What?
do that, like, just look at her hips. They're gigantic.
It's loading. What?
It's loading. That sucks.
Audience, it's a naked picture of Lanasia. Like, I'm just saying that.
Not really completely naked, but it's just
Oh.
an adjusted picture.
Yeah. God, those hips are massive.
Yeah, right.
They're amazing.
Thunder thighs. She is the embodiment of thunder thighs.
No way. No way. No. Just the tight waist. That's it. That's all it is.
I think we've basically covered everything for Luck Horizon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. So then, Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works. It's progressively
4.
getting worse every episode.
I wouldn't go that far.
This is my sole opinion, but so far I have not liked this show beyond the first 2 episodes. But anyone who knows me already knows that I'm a person who doesn't like Fate Stay Night in general at all in the first place.
Yeah.
It's high school
kids.
kids.
Well, at least they're giving a lot of exposition and explanation that you never saw from the original series. This show, I believe it's
The thing is,
expanding a lot more than anything previously,
the thing is,
which I find to be very good.
it's expanding, but it's not Nasu who's expanding the universe. It's Miura because he's a good fucking director.
I know, and that's a good thing.
I know it's a good thing, but at the same time, it makes me hate it because I feel like it clashes with like
Why?
Nasu's style, like Nasu's style of writing and Miura's style of direction. Just, I don't think they mix because it's like you get moments that are really good and then moments that are really bad, and they just. And it's not like Miura's...
Okay. You're gonna have to explain to me what moments are really bad because I didn't really see any.
Okay, like Miura being as good as he is, him trying to solve whatever he can, does not change the fact that he can't fix the fact that like this series is building on a harem and it bothers me.
Oh god, not the harem.
Well, whatever. It's an accepted fact that Shiro has a harem.
Why
okay?
is it accepted though? Like, oh,
because that's how it is.
Just
Deal
saying,
with it.
like that's how it is. Shouldn't be a good enough reason to.
And besides,
That's
this is
how it
unlimited.
therefore it's okay.
Drake, this is unlimited Blade Works. He loses it halfway through.
Wait, what?
Spoiler.
He doesn't lose shit halfway through, all right?
He just. Yeah, he does. He freaking. Okay. Super
No.
spoiler
No
territory.
spoilers. No spoilers.
No, Miles, no.
Leave this
God
out.
damn it.
No. Point being is that this dude has 1, 2, 3, 4 bitches under his roof, and I don't like it.
It's 3. And
Okay,
Rain
first of
jumps
all,
in.
he's got a freaking teacher there watching him, so
I know
it's
one
not
of
a
the
big
harem.
deal.
I know one of the.
He's
she's not
only
a part
interested
of the harem, but why
in
is this
one
cast
girl.
ratio so one-sided? Because it's a visual novel. That's why. And that's why I fucking hate visual novel adaptations.
Wow.
Well, you know what? That's the only complaint that you have, right?
I don't think so.
No, because
Okay. Other
because
complaints.
Because I still also don't like how Saber doesn't trust Shiro enough to give her his name. The excuse used this time, which I don't think was there before.
I like that excuse.
Was that
I
someone
think it's good.
Was that
Could read his
someone used mind reading techniques? My problem with that is Fate Stay Night as a self-contained anime doesn't have mind reading in it. It's in the Nasu verse. It was in Kara no Kyokai in the 6th movie. Like we saw that was there. But it's
I think that's
no
why
one's-
they're using it.
But how many people are actually going to go out of their way to study the entire Nasuverse and not just be stuck on this
Dude,
on this point
there's
in this Fate Stay
magic.
Night?
There is magic. There are people that are very freaking powerful with magic. You would expect someone would have done the art of mind reading at some point.
But then use it. Fate Stay Night does it, and I don't want to like go back like upon.
Well,
like,
maybe
rewatch
they
of
will.
this
Maybe they
series
will. Maybe
and then
they
be
will.
Like, well, this was a warning for nothing.
Drake, maybe they will use it, and they'll be like, I can predict your moves, Shiro, because you are weak-minded. Like, what? That would be kind of cool.
Well, if this is at all, in any way, shape, or form, a blend of the Fate and Unlimited Blade Works routes, because that's what it's doing as of right now at the moment. Because it's like, Saber's identity was never like a topic that ever came up, I don't think, in the Unlimited Blade Works route, because it wasn't really important to it. Now it is, because it's like, here's Saber, and here we need to finally tell, like, an actual, like, well-constructed story that the visual novel never had, because the visual novel wasn't about telling a well-constructed story, it was about telling,
three mixed up stories.
It was about telling 3 mixed up stories that made, like, a central theme. Like, it told a way of life is what it did. And then here, now that we're finally getting to, like, the actual specific elements of, like, how those routes are made up, like, I don't like these. Like, I pick and point everything, and I'm just like, it's like, that's bad, and that's bad,
well,
and that's bad.
At least there's verifiable explanation.
Some of it, like,
that makes sense, and isn't complete and utter bullshit.
Some of it, like, has to be, like, made up, though, because I still feel like, to this day, as much as I want to say, like, oh, Rin's just, like, keeping Shiro alive for Sakura's sake.
It's not made up if they follow through.
Okay. So do you think they're going to follow through on this idea? Alright, so why has Rin kept Shiro alive up to this point?
No idea.
Tell me why.
Because she likes him.
That's a good enough excuse for you? Like, I have
teenagers.
to keep I kind of have to keep excusing myself that it's like, oh, she's doing it for Sakura's sake, but I know it's not true because it's like we need romance that, like, exists for no reason because they don't even know each other, but it happens anyways.
You know that they know each other.
They don't know each other right now.
From episode 0, you know they know each other.
They're on a last name basis. They don't really know each other.
That doesn't mean anything. You can be on a last name basis and be infatuated with someone.
They were on a last name basis in Clannad for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
It's like I understand where Miles is coming from, but the thing is like, why do these characters have affectionate feelings for each other if there's nothing about their relationship that's connected them whatsoever?
Well, she never so far as you could tell, you don't know their past history that well.
I know their
You don't know what they did in school. You don't know that shit.
The only way this is ever going to get justified if it takes my favorite part from the Heaven's Feel route.
Well, you never know. Maybe they will.
I'm waiting for it to happen, because if it doesn't...
But you know what?
Like,
you know what? They might just be saving it for the Heaven's Feel movie.
I guess they could. I don't think this moment is strictly important to the Heaven's Feel movie. Like, it's important to Sakura's character, but you can easily, like, take, like, my favorite moment. And my favorite moment's actually, like, it's like a mix of, like, 2 moments, but they're like, parallels to each other. It's like basically just take Rin's moment of that and, like, put it in Limited Blade Works, and then, like, take Sakura's moment and then, like, put it in Heaven's Feel. Like, that's the only way I'm gonna find this in the least bit justifiable. Alright? But okay. I do know why she does have an eye on Shiro, alright? Like, I know personally because I read the visual novel, but I don't like how it's explained in Heaven's Feel when it's more justifiable for their romance.
Well, we're not watching Heaven's Feel, we're watching Unlimited
But I know
Blade
why
Works.
it's in Heaven's Feel is because it's supposed to be development for Sakura, not Rin, and it's just, Alright, my other complaint, one thing, this was minor, was I don't like how Shiro saw the Unlimited Blade Works at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah, it's all about foreshadowing.
Why?
Because
it's called Unlimited Blade Works. How can you even complain about that?
No. Seeing it is fine. I don't like that Shiro was in it because I don't think Shiro doesn't have any kind of connection to Archer that would justify him seeing the station.
Well, okay.
Anyone,
First of all, I think that's completely untrue because how the hell would he have pushed Saber out of the way if he didn't? The previous episode.
Well, okay, see the thing is...
Because he was able to tell what Archer was going to do. I'm not going to say anything after that. That's it. Because that's spoiler territory.
That is entirely true. He did sense Archer's attack.
Also, there's more foreshadowing.
See? See, there you go. That in itself. All right, that's enough. That's enough.
Okay.
Yeah, no more. One thing
Fine.
I felt was weird.
We don't want any more wills out there to
Yeah.
flip out.
There's-
Don't click on any links like Will did, people.
This
Don't
episode
do
has
it.
positives. Don't get me wrong. This episode does have
CGI
positives.
skeleton puppies.
Yeah,
okay.
that was a big negative for me. It was kind of like, really? I think I could almost see one clipping through the floor at one point. It was kind of like, what? I don't like the fact that they use CGI for them.
You know, it was kind of funny because I was actually kind of waiting for it because there was a lot of CGI in Fate Zero, and then Fate Tonight hasn't had any up to this point.
Wait,
And I'm
where's
like,
Zero CGI? I can't remember most of it.
Zero CGI was like on Saber's motorcycle. It was on Gilgamesh's
Yeah.
attack ship.
But it wasn't like on anything physically moving or living.
It was on Berserker, literally the entire show except for the
Well,
final episode.
Well, yeah, but it just made Berserker
That
look
creepier.
freaking amazing.
Creepier,
That's the
okay.
thing. But these are skeletons. It's like, what? Berserker's in a bunch of armor and he's glowing and he's got fog and shit all around him.
Yeah, that made
in
sense
Fate
for him.
Zero.
It made him look creepier.
That makes a lot more sense because it makes him look
more intimidating.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't belong there.
Yeah, exactly. It made him look like he did not belong. Like he was forced there rather than actually being
And there for
summoned.
the Grail.
If that makes sense.
No, I get it. I understand.
In terms
that.
of an animation perspective.
I understand that logic 100%. The only reason why I really don't have a rebuttal to this is because I don't care. It's like the CGI was CGI, whatever.
I just don't like the skeleton CGI because it's like
They're skeletons. Why do you
no,
need CGI for that?
It's they don't look like actual skeletons. They look lame.
Well, the actual design of them is not something akin to an actual skeleton.
It's something. It just has to do with the shading more than anything.
Well,
There's hardly any shading.
I
on
think
them.
some of it's the shading, and I think some of it's also like the actual shape of them because they're not like actual dogs. And like when you get like skeleton humans, I don't remember if there were any human skeletons in this episode, or if it was just all dogs.
They were all
dogs.
dogs.
And the
But
giant
it's like,
dragon
but it's
thing.
like when you even get like skeleton humans, it's like even their body structure is still fucked up. I mean, like even their heads like aren't even like actual heads. They're just literally just like mouths. They're just like shark teeth for like a face. Like that's all they are. And Castor makes weird looking fucking skeletons. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I
let's
like
go
that
on to the
Shiro.
positives
No.
of the episode.
I thought we were to change topics. But I like that Shiro has multiple outfits. That is a rare thing
Yes.
in anime.
Yes, alright, see, this surprised me. Was like, alright, so like he has his typical baseball t-shirt. Or blank baseball shirt.
Whatever his...
Yeah.
No, not baseball. His,
No, it was a baseball shirt. It's not a t-shirt, but it's a baseball shirt.
No. It's a basketball shirt because of High School Musical. He
Wait,
has the
what?
High School Musical shirt in blue.
Okay, no, literally, I'm
What?
gonna, it's like, you type in blank baseball shirt in Google right now, and his shirt is literally like the first thing to pop up.
We all go to
He's
Google.
doing it.
I'm typing currently.
I'm Googling on my phone.
It is. But it's in red. That's the first thing that I saw pop up.
No,
In
my
red.
first one is...
Never mind. No,
My
it's
f-
blue. It's
Yeah,
blue.
yeah, my first one's still blue.
But that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
Shiro
God,
likes
it is.
baseball. It's subliminal messaging.
When-
That's
When does he like baseball? What the fuck? I don't know anything anymore.
Like, I love how he is, like, it is so, like, not common for a character to have multiple outfits. Like, the only show I
anyways,
can think of that
no,
that's done that is, like, Fairy
cracked-
Tail.
What cracked me up was that so Shiro has like his baseball shirt, and then he has his jacket, which is literally just his shirt, and which I felt was kind of like a cop out. Like I understand you're trying to make him look better, you're trying to design him to be a little more to like the winterish theme, because it's like everyone else has winter clothes except for like Saber and Shiro, so now they get winter clothes adaptation, but
Yeah.
it's literally just their normal
Well,
outfits.
we don't know about Saber yet.
No,
we haven't
Saber,
seen.
Saber in the opening, she like has the jacket and the scarf.
Oh yeah.
But anyways,
But we haven't seen her in the actual show.
But Shiro today, or not Shiro today, but Shiro in this episode, like he put on like a black hoodie, and I was like,
What?
I was like,
no.
he
The
changed
thing
his
that
clothes?
got me, like, insanely hyped for the animation was when they zoomed in on his hoodie and made the little tassels dangle. Like they bounced when he walked, and it was like,
did?
oh, yes, they did.
I didn't notice that.
Caught my attention so much. It was so perfect. The way that they bounced up and down, it was like, yes, I have never seen this before. It's perfect. Because that's what they do.
You know, it's pretty hilarious how we talk about how like we reviewed Redline today, and like somehow I still think actually Fate Stay Night the series looks better than this like 4-year in production movie. Technically like 9 or 8 years, but like 4 years for this rendition of the film. And like I'm just like,
And then it's just the details, the little minor details that really impress me about shows like this, of what they're able to accomplish in the amount of time that they have.
One thing about this that made me kind of frustrated, I guess, was like at the very end when they're about to go off to find Caster. Archer's like, I thought your policy was not to go after things that were bigger than you. And she's like, it is. I'm like, that's some major confidence. And she's like, but this is a special situation. I'm like, oh, come on, you had a chance to be awesome.
There's so much about Rin that I love, and that I don't like at the same time.
I just like ruined a chance for you to be awesome and cocky.
All right, first of all, like first things first, I love how Rin is being treated as like a secondary main character to this story. Like it's not Shiro getting just all the spotlight. Like Rin is Rin is receiving like 50% of this. Like it is an even share between the two of them, and I'm so loving that, and I'm so digging that, and I'm really appreciative of that. That it's like we're expanding, you know, the Fate story by seeing it from different perspectives. Not all 7 like the way 0 did, but 2 is better than 1. And so nonetheless, so Rin, you know, going and fighting and having her own scene, really cool. Rin saying that she's gonna go fight Caster, really cool. But then there's little things that bother me, like her leaving Shiro alone despite it going against her policy to like, you know, leave weak, to like fight weak, leave strong or whatever. And then like, and also at the same time, I don't understand why she has so much confidence in herself. If like Archer still says that it's like you performed a really shitty summoning, like should that not have like a little bit of like, should that not drag down your confidence a little bit to say that like you have flaws in your magic and you should probably try to take these into account instead of just being like, ugh, I'm perfect.
It wasn't really her fault that it was messed up.
Okay.
She gets her clock
I
back.
I just remembered something just to get a laugh in there.
What?
Not that I wasn't paying attention, which I was, but I just remembered the fact that when Shiro called Rin fat,
That was great.
it was great, but I was expecting expecting more. I was expecting more. He was just like, so you're fat?
Yeah, like that.
And
She's
then
like-
she's like, you what? You just said what?
You should like
I was
really
kind
quiet,
of
like, oh
expecting
god, why
more
did I say
too.
that?
That's why I did.
Yeah, it was pretty toned down, and I expected like at least for Rin to yell instead of just twitch face and walk away.
No, Rin's twitch face and walk away was fine to me. I didn't understand why Shiro had...
Shiro's reaction after the fact was a little
Amazing.
Shiro's reaction was odd. No, I didn't even think it was amazing. I thought it was like really like weird.
because I'm used to the big freakouts. I'm used to that.
Yeah, it felt weird not
That-
seeing a big
that's it.
freak out, make a scene of
I'm
it.
glad there was no big freak out.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
and
glad,
that
but
kind of
it's
makes
weird.
me
I
happy,
feel like
but
Shiro was starting to do a big freak out, and then it just cut before it could even happen. I was
Yeah,
like,
they're
at
like,
least
nope.
finish it if you're gonna do it.
yeah, it felt halfway, but I'm glad that they didn't do it. personally.
And for the record, I know that Rin's magic isn't fucked up. I'm just saying, she's been told her magic is fucked up. I think that should be a little more, like, bearing on her thoughts. For anyone in the audience who's gonna try to correct me.
Well, after the fact, Archer went ahead and said, "Yeah, you know what? You're a pretty awesome master. Go ahead."
But, like, again, in my own little theories, I think he just made that up just to, like, get her on his side.
Probably.
Why did he make that up, though?
To get on her side.
To get on her side, like, he wants to fight of his own fruition because he has his own plans, you know? He can't have Rin always getting in the way. So he's like, if you trust me and let me do what I want, which, as I've stated multiple times, which I think he got in episode 0 when she said, "I won't help you in this fight," and he smiled, and so he was just like, yes, score, like, I'm in that zone where it's like, I can do whatever. And like, I still think in some ways he's tricking her, because even in episode 3, he said that it's like, I can't shoot, like, anything that's, like, not within your vicinity, because it's like, I have to always be able to see you, because I can, like, sense you, so I always know where you are, so therefore I can always see the people next to you. Yet he at several times, he actually did make attacks where Rin was not around at Berserker, and it made me think that it's like, again, he's just bullshitting her, you know, so that's like, he can fight of his own fruition. Maybe
Probably.
it's me still thinking, maybe it's me thinking still too deep into this.
Like Zero, everything's planned out.
I'm thinking you're thinking too deep.
But if I'm not thinking too deep about it, but then I think it only makes it worse, because then it feels kind of like plot hole-ish. So then I have to make up, like, psychological reasons. So I people
Drake, stop!
Alright. Okay, so the best thing about this episode, like, the one thing I took away from this episode was just the absolute moment that I loved to death was Shiro's talk with Mitsutsuri. I loved that entire scene, and not just that entire, like, because it's like, the most fascinating aspect about Shiro's character to me has always been the fact that he ignores this sense of, like, living, this sense of being alive, you know, because he's so focused on what it means to be a hero and trying to live up to this sense of justice, you know. She talked about, it's like, oh, you were the best guy in the archery club, but, like, for some reason you still never seemed to enjoy.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty nice that they threw that in.
And like, anytime you hit the target, bullseyes no less, was like, you didn't enjoy that, and you knew, because in Shiro's mind, that if he was using this as an apolitical skill, he was killing people, and so, and he doesn't want to do that, and so, like, it was so fascinating to me how, like, how she told him that it's like, Shiro, you don't ever smile.
And it was like, wait a second! And then I went ahead and thought back to, like, the actual Fate Stay Night, like, the original, and pretty much through most of the original Fate Stay Night, he never smiles. It's true.
He doesn't, because he's so obsessed.
It's crazy.
He's so obsessed with finding this sense of enlightenment that he's never gonna get. And I feel like in a weird way he kind of even knows it too, because he can never apply himself to be good enough at doing it. Like, he wants to be a hero, but he fucking sucks at magic, yo. So it's like, what's the best he can do? Get a part-time job and, like, clean a restaurant?
That's
like,
something the
you know,
world.
it's like, you know, it's like, so she says to him, like when he smiles, because he kind of feels like, you know, he's getting, like, this sort of compliment from her, that she's like, wow, like, that's the first time I think I've ever actually seen you smile. And, like, he has this horrific flashback of fucking Fuyuki City burning and him, like, almost dying, and then I was just like
for a split second, and it was like,
and it was horrific too, because it's like just the scene got tense, You know, it's like the music stopped. You know, like not the music stopped, but like it got like harsh. You know, just if there was even any music at all.
It was a good transition.
It was just so good. Like his eyes were dilated. You know, and like just oh yes, just yes, like just I love how Shiro puts so many restrictions on his way of life that it stops him from being actually human. But and I want Fate Stay Night to actually like do stuff with it, you know, like explore further this sense of like inhumanness that Shiro like actually has, if he's even human at all, you know, or if he's just a byproduct of the Grail, like just. It's just like if the show could do that, like if the visual novel could do that, which it never ever really did. It's always kind of like my own fan theory that I just want to see come alive.
Well, okay then.
Yeah, I get too into this. I talk about how much I hate this show, but then like when
but he goes into so much fucking detail, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think we've covered just about everything on this episode. I think our discussion's been longer than the actual episode itself was.
Alright. World Trigger, guys!
Yay, World Trigger.
Alright, so I talked about how, like, last episode, we kind of stopped about halfway through, like, Chapter 6. We finished that, and we basically get through, like, up to Chapter 8. Like, basically covering Chapter 8.
Okay, well,
that's kind of where this ends. Because remember, the point we're trying to hit.
It's 14.
Like chapter 4 is 14. So I'm
So episode 7.
I'm recording progress here.
If at episode 4 you've done 8 chapters, it's like a 1 to 2 ratio.
You know,
So
for those of you hating World Trigger at the moment, and I completely understand.
I'm one of them.
Yes, I want the most current arc, and I'm not going to talk about anything about it. Like, it's just the most current arc, the invasion arc, and like as it's been dubbed the entire time, this as it's been going, is finally over. Like the last chapter ended this week, and I wanted to, and I want to list off these numbers. All right, like this is what happens when World Trigger gets good. This is what happens when World Trigger gets actually dramatic, because it's getting there, and I feel like this most recent chapter was evident of it. And it did it by giving you a body count.
Oh, God.
Okay, so the invasion arc just ended, and here's what it ended on. Okay? Civilian losses. Deaths, 0. Serious injuries, 22. Minor injuries, 68. Border losses.
Oh, God.
Deaths, 6. Serious injuries, 4. Still missing, 32.
Jeez.
Neighbor losses, deaths, 1. Captured, 1. Presumably 38 people died to kill 1 dude.
Wow.
And also capture 1, you know, for like intelligence reasons. But it's like World Trigger knows how to be dramatic, and it knows how to be good.
It's
just not there yet.
It's just not there yet. And so it's like this is a really good example of what I'm telling people to wait for.
What chapter was that, Drake?
What?
What chapter was that?
The most recent chapter?
Yeah, number.
Or what chapter are we waiting for?
No,
or what chapter,
number
like,
was that chapter you just mentioned?
Oh, this was chapter, I believe, 94.
Okay, I thought it was something like 150 or something. Okay, we might actually get there for like a 50 episode series. As some people are theorizing. Have they confirmed the runtime for this?
It's probably just gonna keep going.
Oh no, not even 94. Shit, like it's chapter 81.
Oh, so 40 episodes in will probably
because
get it.
World Trigger's gonna replace Naruto's spot.
Naruto's continuing.
Naruto ends next week.
No, Naruto's continuing.
No, it's not.
Yeah, they are.
It's continuing with something of like an OVA.
No, they have
No, I'm talking about the manga.
No, they're starting a new manga.
What?
It's-
What?
It's
I didn't hear about that.
I think
Wait,
it's
wait,
confirmed to be a manga short.
No.
It's
no.
like it's
Drake,
it's
listen.
like a
Drake, shut up.
okay.
They've confirmed a manga short about Naruto and Hinata's kids. They've confirmed a novel about Kakashi. And
It's a mini series.
No, it's
Yes.
a novel about Kakashi.
No, he's talking about like just the Naruto expansions and all.
And then a
Yeah.
possibility of like stuff on Minato's backstory. But then like they talked about the short with the kids being a lead up to like the 3rd anniversary of Naruto big project. Like not the movie The Last. I'll find it somewhere. I have a link. on
It's
the
somewhere on ANN. I know.
Hummingbird has it.
I saw the
thread.
link. Yeah.
I don't care what you guys say about it, about Naruto being for plebs or for
Just let it die already,
weeaboos.
please.
I don't care what you say. It is
Please
one of
let
the
it die.
biggest influences. It is
Yeah.
one of the biggest influences to the industry, to introducing people
Me.
to the industry.
That's how I got.
getting people
Shannon.
in.
I
And it is
I
actually
completely
legitimately
yeah, I
a
agree.
good series.
Until wait. Until Ninja
No.
Zombies.
No. I thought
What?
I thought it went downhill before that. I
I'm just saying that it is a legitimately good, well thought out series overall. I won't say that it's my favorite. I won't say that I necessarily like it, but it's good enough to get people interested in the medium and exploring other things.
Okay, here's
Okay, right here. I don't have any link for this, but it says the miniseries is part of the larger Naruto Shinjidai.
Scroll down. It's somewhere in the. Someone posted an ANN link on the thread. It's somewhere.
I'll look for it in a second, but like it says the miniseries is part of the larger Naruto Shinjidai Kaimaku project, which means Naruto's new era opening project, marking the 15th anniversary of the original manga. So it is
that's
something big.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
they're probably gonna just be like, okay, we're just gonna end it with a bang, and
That's
then
that's what
blast
the movie's
out a
supposed to
couple
be.
things and be done.
You know, I wanted to say though, like Naruto 2 was also the franchise that got me into the medium. 100%. I completely admit it. And like I stopped liking it basically after like Shikamaru's character arc in Shippuden when when he fought like some of the Akatsuki in his own little private forest, family forest or whatever. Like it's like that's just that whole arc with Shikamaru recovering from Asuma's death. Like
That was really great. Yeah.
that was really great, and it was such a pinnacle high point, and I loved it, and I thought the series went downhill from after that.
That was about where I agree that it became villain of the arc.
Structurally, in a certain way, though, I still agree with Miles, because it's like I think about Naruto from start to finish,
First half was
and
good.
like
I liked the first half.
that's not even my point. Like my point is when I try to look for a stopping point, I can't find
There's
one.
none.
There is none. Naruto has
There is only one actual stopping point,
After
and that is
Pain.
Sasuke.
Sasuke.
No.
End of Sasuke's
That is
report.
the time skip.
Yeah.
That's the only stopping point.
See, like, what I imagined Naruto was going to do when I was younger, first watching, is I thought Sasuke was going to run away, they were going to get him back, and then it would just be one final fight with the Akatsuki, and it would end it right there. And if
God.
that was it, that would have been...
Oh, dude, if you've been reading the manga,
The
that's
fight was amazing.
wow.
Yeah, so nonetheless...
And the
but
chapter
I mean,
after
like,
that, Miles, do you read 398? I mean 698?
Where they talk and
Yeah.
then you see the last page and you're like, oh my goodness, their bodies.
Oh
But
my.
I said bodies for a reason.
I know.
Just
Actually, I saw someone
Yeah.
took that image and just messed with it to
wow.
you know the SpongeBob movie, right? The weird one that had
Yeah.
like live action David Hasselhoff.
Oh my goodness, they took that part in.
No, they took the "I'm a Goofy Goober" song as in the final panel. It's amazing. I'll find the link into the tube. It's like that final like spread where you see their bodies like torn up.
But
for the
I will
fight.
say that
It's
that
like,
it's being
look at your
wrapped up
figure.
really well right now.
It's amazing.
I'm looking at it right now. That's
You found it, Drake?
yeah. I pulled it up on my phone because I fucking Shonen Jump on my phone. And, like that's pretty hilarious actually. Like that's pretty hilarious in like a feel good way where it's
Oh yeah,
like,
here, found it.
It's like I'm kind of glad that happened. Like this felt like something that like Naruto should do. Like it's just like, oh yeah, they put that much effort into like this final
Here.
fight.
Like,
But
Yep.
I love this.
It felt appropriate for this fight.
Remember we talked about World Trigger? Isn't it amazing?
What the fuck?
I think Miles liked
Oh my
it.
god. Oh my god, why? No, I can never look at that image again.
Anyways, yeah, I was gonna say though, like I think Naruto, if Kishimoto's good at anything, it's at least how do I put it?
Character expansion.
I don't think it's character expansion. I think it's more along the lines of just like he's written. I don't like what he's written, but I can't deny the fact that he's written something solid enough that it's
Until
like
the
I
ending,
can't.
where it became
I can't really strike it, for being like, well, I can't say you didn't deserve to get to this point because I sure as fuck can't think of like another way of like you getting around this without completely rewriting your story, which is way more than I can say for Bleach because Bleach has like.
And he's
Like
completely
5 fucking stopping points where I thought it could have ended, but
yeah, it does. It just like, okay, we're done here, but
No,
we'll
not.
keep going cause money. Yeah.
So, anyways,
World Trigger?
Yeah, World Trigger. Do you honestly think it's gonna replace Naruto?
No.
Definitely not the anime, but like.
I
do you
think it'll replace one of the slots.
I think
in
Fairy Tail will
the
replace
manga.
Naruto.
I don't think so because there's been a lot of controversy with Fairy Tail's manga as of late, from what I've heard.
Why?
Just because people are not liking it anymore because it's turning into more Bleach rather than.
I don't know how they could be.
I
thinking that.
can't speak for Fairy Tail. I haven't watched it, but the most common complaint I hear all the time.
Fan service?
Well, it's either that, or it's the fact that the series it has something of an overall goal, right? Like they just want to fight the Apocalypse Dragon.
No, not at all. Not until like when episode 100 is when that comes up.
All right, but whatever the case, from what I understand, it really just seems like a somewhat directionless series where like it makes an arc, it does something, and then it just kind of goes.
No, they
on to
all tied
something
together.
else.
Like they all tied together to Zeref and from like the first real arc onwards. Everything was related to Zeref except for Fighting Festival and Edelus, because you had the Eisenwald Guild with Lullaby, like the Death Flute. You had Dre's arc with Deliora, a Demon of Zeref. You had Tower of Heaven, which was Jalal.
The thing
being a
is,
puppet
it
of Zeref.
reminds me when I hear about all this, it just reminds me of Bleach so much. Like it's trying to build up to the
Final villain.
the final villain, and who knows if it's actually gonna be the final villain, like Bleach is right now.
No,
Where
I
they're
think
like, oh, it's the
Zeref's
final
gonna be the
villain,
final
but you
villain.
don't know.
Well, actually, it's going to be End. End is the final villain. His name is literally End. E-N-D. So
That's
far.
I mean,
cliche.
Well, no, I mean,
I'm
it's
gonna.
theory at this point. They've mentioned End. It's like an acronym for something. We don't know what it is. We think it's Evil Natsu Dragneel. That's the theory. But we don't.
I'm not even gonna go there.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm gonna attempt at watching / reading Fairy Tail at some point of my own.
Drake,
But
you should marathon
but-
Fairy Tail. If you're gonna watch it, don't do it like I'll watch like one episode today, two tomorrow.
I refuse to watch the anime.
Why?
the one
I read the manga quite a bit, like up to chapter 80 or something. I didn't get any further because I'm like, oh, this is something good here too.
I'm just gonna
and
say
I just kind of left it alone.
I'm just gonna say, because it is something of like a long, ongoing, running shonen manga that I'm gonna be entirely honest, I don't hear that many positives about.
Yeah,
Like,
most people hate
really,
it just for being fairy tale. Like, I don't know why.
I'm gonna walk in it with a negative, biased opinion, but that also tends to help because maybe that means it could impress me more.
Fairy tale is just like fun series. It doesn't take stuff seriously at all. But when it does, it's great. Like when Natsu gets like pissed off, some of the best scenes.
If it's fun, that's cool.
When you
If
start
it's fun,
hearing
that's
Dragon
cool,
Force in the background as you're watching a scene, you're just like, I hear the fire and the flames.
The problem,
I
the
just hope
biggest
it's fun
problem
and
that I had with the anime is that I went ahead and watched the first episode after reading the manga a bit, and it's like, no, those fire effects, I cannot even look at it. It pisses me off to look at it whenever they show the magic, because when you have CGI fire, when it looks completely and utterly different from how the manga draws the fire, I
It's
can't.
not CGI.
I can't even. It is
The
CGI.
the magic seals are CGI.
The first episode is CGI for the flames and the magic seals. They don't even have the fucking magic seals in the manga.
Yeah, those are gone in the new anime too.
They're gone.
Yeah,
Good.
seals.
Because it didn't make any sense to put them in
I
there.
mean, they kind of look cool
in
though.
all honesty, it doesn't look cool. It looks tacky at that point. With all the detail and effort that's put into that series, when I read the manga and looked at the artwork, it just feels tacky when they put that on there. It does not feel right.
So, World Trigger was fun. Let's ready to move on to Yona.
World Trigger was fun, and we kind of used that to get into like a topic about just shonen in general.
Yep.
But
Our first actual discussion topic. Ready to move to Yona?
yeah, ready to go with Yona.
Nothing happened, sort of,
Nothing.
for the first half.
No, for first half, anything happened.
This was I took no notes on this episode
You didn't?
because I really had nothing to say about it. It felt
We're beginning the transition period, which we knew was going to happen for Yona,
Yeah.
and it's
character
like,
development.
oh, she has fiery red hair.
like
It's
the
burning
only
eyes.
the only thing I kind of really took away from this episode was not specifically from this episode, but from the preview
For next episode.
where she gets like captured again. And so it's like I feel like Yona's getting stronger, but she's not there yet. In this
yeah,
we're in
the
the
transition period.
and this
and
episode
it's-
is just
yeah.
a first step. It's a first step where she knows that she's weaker, or that she knows that she's weak, so she's gonna try to fight, get in over her head in next episode, and have to be saved again. And so probably from there, actually probably go through some training montages or something. But it's like, it's a natural development, and it's a natural development, and I liked it. And like that's all this episode kind of really was. It was Hawk leaving. Now that like everyone in the village is okay, and Yona leaving with him because it's just sort of her duty.
She's the main character. She's
Yeah.
got to do something. She can't just sit there.
What I found was kind of cool was the Wind Tribe knew it was her the entire time. They didn't fall for it.
No, not everyone in the Wind Tribe.
I think it was.
Only a few people figured it out.
At least it was that one.
Yeah, I think the thing, because it depends on like who was really royalty-ish, So
Because that guy that said, the only person other than the elder that said that they knew
Was the guard.
was the person next in line
yeah, was the person next
to
in
be
line
the general.
to the throne behind Hawk. So yeah, so I assume maybe only the royal blood figured it out.
But Hawk didn't have royal blood.
Only the important people knew, which was a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
sad that took me 2 episodes.
that makes sense to me because they should be exposed to Yona by a little bit, shouldn't they?
I was sad that it took me 2 episodes to realize hung dead. It'd be way too long to get the joke. They're always talking about he's dead, even though he's like right next to him. Just add a D at the end of his name. It's dead.
What?
Hongdae.
No, I don't get it.
Heangdea. Add a D.
Do you know what?
The end of his name.
What Hyundai means?
What?
Do you know what it means?
Hongdae.
Hyundai.
It's a car company.
I know.
I knew you
I
were
drive
gonna do
one.
that.
I drive one.
I drive an Acura. Is there a character named Acura here?
There probably is in some series.
I actually think there is.
Now there's an Acura.
Yeah. Also, I'm caught up on Yalpeda.
That'd be a
Oh
pretty
my
funny.
God.
That'd be a pretty funny car commercial. Like all of a sudden,
Oh my God, yes.
Acura makes motorcycles, and they call it the Acura.
Dude, I am just imagining watching Mitsuji ride a motorcycle and the way he rides in the show.
No,
Like,
no,
face
no.
scraping the
you
ground.
Get Johnny Young Bosch. You get Johnny Young Bosch to ride the motorcycle in the commercial. That's all you need to do.
Posing like Mitsuji.
What?
Yeah.
What are you even talking? Have you even seen Akira?
I was thinking about Akira Mitsuji, but okay.
No.
I mean, I know what you're saying about Akira, the movie Akira.
The motorcycle.
I know, but still. I watched Yalpeda today.
Goodness. Yeah, I did too, but I still didn't go to that. Well, I saw it last night.
Also, the end credits scene was
Whatever.
amazing.
Back to Yona.
Oh yeah.
Back to Yona.
Hawk is 3 OP.
He is super OP.
3
yeah,
OP.
he is. He is 2 OP.
No.
I was.
No, he's
I will say 2 because he's still weak
he's still an arrow
when
in the
he
shoulder.
gets poisoned. When he gets poisoned, he's still weak.
Thing is, it's him fighting all the guards. I had no problem with. It was when he was deflecting
Arrows.
like
Fucking arrows.
10 arrows at a time with like one swing.
Yeah, no.
I was like,
It was like that accuracy though.
Yeah. Also, the noise we took the arrow out was.
Once again, music can be overpowering
Yes.
in this series.
Still didn't hear it, but whatever you guys say.
Like, did you guys hear when he tore the arrow out of his shoulder?
It was like,
The squelching noise was.
oh, that's nothing. Have you even freaking watched Pupa?
Yeah.
All you need to do
I watch Pupa.
to get sick from watching Pupa is watch the trailer and just hear that.
Yeah.
I don't remember who. I don't remember who the sound
entire
director
episode.
for Pupa is supposed to be, but I just know that he does a really good fucking job.
Dude, I swear to God, they went to some African village and they found some cannibals and they took the audio directly from there. I kid you not. That's the only way that sound can be humanly possible to make. It sends chills down my spine every time I hear that freaking sound. That's the only props I will ever give Pupa.
Yeah.
The fact that
It was disgusting.
the soundtrack was so perfectly well done.
It was perfectly well done. But
Oh,
it
even
never,
if
it
it
never,
was
it
a
never really gave
5-minute
me chills.
thing, it was like,
I think it never gave me chills because I expected like what I was getting, so I was like, all right, this is gonna be really weird and fucked up, and then it was.
but it was like you hear like monster eating noises, and that literally just didn't sound like anything I've ever heard before.
Yeah.
And when I heard it, it's just like, oh, just the chills.
Now, there was only ever one soundtrack I ever heard that ever gave me chills, and it was Fate Zero's soundtrack for one track only. It was the fucking the title had something like Dream in it or something about dreams number 3 or whatever. But anyways, no, like the way the track ends with just it's all really like delicate and like piano-y or like just like ding, dun, dun, like just it's sad being Yuki Kadra sad, you know, but it's like it just ends with just like this like warp fucked up like noise, and I'm just like what the fuck was that? But it was really good though, because it sent like a chill down my spine, because it's like I understood that it's like, oh man, like when you hear this noise like something like drastic, like something fucked up just happened, because that's what Fate Zero is, you know. It's like, and I always the moment it plays multiple times, but the one that always really stuck out to me was when it played during when Kiritsugu was having, you know, his talk with Angra Manyu on like the boats, and like in the apartment room, and then in the shack, and then he kills Maya, I think her name was, but when he kills her for like, you know, for Iris Veil and Aelia, and it's like, and then you just get that and I'm just like, yo.
Yo.
That's the only time that like a soundtrack has ever sent chills down my spine. Besides that, I can't really say anything else has. No! Something else that has was also a Yuki Kajira song, but it was not Yuki Kajira, it was a Yuki Kajira remix of like QB's theme. This remix also ended really great.
Well, I still have yet to watch Madoka, so I will.
It's okay.
Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna hold you to it. I think it's vastly overrated.
Overrated, yeah.
Only for its ending. I liked it until it ended.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I need more. No.
Not I need more. Like this ending, like just ruined everything.
About the Rebellion movie or the actual?
No, the actual show.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched Rebellion.
I watched Rebellion. Rebellion was okay, but I just had like the same
Sequel
opinion.
bait.
I had the same opinion of it as I did the show, where I was like, it's okay. Some things work, some things don't. It's an entertaining movie, just like how it was an entertaining show.
I think we're kind of done.
Yeah, I think we're just about done because we got Yona pretty quick.
Yeah, we are done because I gotta go take a shit really bad.
I'm tired. I gotta be up in 6 hours for school.
I gotta be up in 5 hours for getting ready for work.
Well, I'm surprised you stayed up this late for the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't think my mom knew. My door's been shut for like the last 3 hours.
See, you can do it if you try, Will.
You have good reason. If she asks, you just be like,
I'm sick, I can't sleep.
It's my duty.
No, Miles is an idiot.
Okay.
Besides, I might be sick again tomorrow.
Will.
What, Miles?
I'm not an idiot. I have a
dumbass.
well-paying job. I make more money than you do.
I don't have a job.
I made more money at your age. And you don't have a job.
Yeah, that's kind
Get
of
a job and prove me wrong.
I'm looking.
Then call me an idiot.
I'm looking for a job.
Yeah, it shouldn't take that long. So keep looking. Good luck to you.
I applied to Barnes & Noble, but I didn't get it accepted.
You know, something just kind of hit me.
What?
Did we talk about Will Trigger at all? Like anything that actually happened in the episode?
Not really. Nothing happened.
Well, I mean, like a new monster showed up.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that was about it.
New monster showed up. Yuma said that like he can like share his Tryon,
Yeah.
which I don't think anyone else has the capability of doing.
They didn't show Tryon. She just buffs.
And like Osamu, like they hinted at a past with like him and Chica. Like that's what happened. Just in case any of you felt gypped by our review of Will Trigger.
Nothing happened though. There's nothing to be gypped from.
Alright. Well, okay. Now then, it is the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
It's the end of the podcast. We have already decided on what our next series will be.
Shin
Yes.
Sekai Yori.
Shin Sekai Yuri, and
that will take 2 weeks to complete.
As is
So
a
in
super
between
series.
in between our 2 weeks, we will be doing the review of
Jinro, the Wolf Brigade.
because that's going to take way too fucking long
Yeah.
to complete in just
I need to rewatch that.
podcast with other things.
Because even though I predicted the ending of that movie, I missed something about the scheming or whatever was going on.
I think we'll all rewatch it
Yeah.
because it was just that good.
I'm gonna just sub when I rewatch it.
I loved it. My only problem with the movie was keeping up with like whose side was on whose.
Yeah,
And then
which was
because, like,
interesting. That
not
was a
because,
good
like,
part.
the sides were difficult. It was just I had a hard time just remembering names.
Yeah, that was the hardest part. That's when you open up the wiki.
Yeah, right.
Drake is a master at opening the wiki for shows.
All right.
Actually,
okay.
I did not open up a single Wikipedia page for this entire podcast. Go me.
Ooh.
I
Want a medal?
opened all the wikis. All right. Well, today on Anime Circuit, our hosts are me, Miles, Drake, the King of Waifus,
Yeah.
and Will.
Yep.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna go by Skype names, then you might as well just be called Nico132435.
Okay, then he is TKDBB156.
Yeah.
So now you know our Skype names.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Now we'll get pinged or something.
You know what's actually hilarious? Is that
And
your
my
guys'
our
Skype
Hummingbird
names-
username.
Your guys' Skype names are the same one as your Hummingbird usernames, except mine.
Yes.
Not really.
Well, no, not really.
Drake, you're
I mean, I'm-
You just have
is your
King of
name.
Waifus at the end.
Yeah.
It is
I said
literally
King
King of Waifus at the end. You
I
can
have
find
King
it,
of Waifus
people.
at the
You can
end,
find it and
and-
message him and annoy the shit out of him.
And
Do
there's
it.
no space in between Drake and Chandler.
Wow.
But there's a
Revolutionary.
space on Skype, so use it, people. Use it.
I thought it was his full name. On
Yeah, I
Skype.
give my full name because I don't really give a shit about that type of stuff.
DKC.
Until you get freaking emails and a bunch of bullshit, and then you'll care.
Russian mail order
Then you will
brides.
care. Oh, yes. Those are always nice.
Well, so far, I don't really have that problem. Because my Skype is attached to my Facebook, and I don't get spam from Facebook. So I'm
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
But it's my actual email that is also just my name that gets all the spam.
Okay, that's enough about personal information being shared over the internet for millions of people to see.
But my email.
This is the end of the podcast.
Yes,
It's not
it
just
is.
one word. There's no space. It's an underscore.
This is the end of the Anime Circuit podcast for this week in November. Recording date the 6th. I think we're all wrapped up.
Yep.
Have a nice night, everyone.
Good night.
Adios. We are your hosts. You're the audience. We love you.
Good night.
Bye.